There are people who carry within them an ancestral force, a gift that isn't learned. It awakens. It's no coincidence that you feel a deep connection to others' pain, that your presence brings calm, that your words heal wounds that medicine cannot reach. You didn't choose to be this way. You were born this way, and you've probably spent years trying to understand why you're so different, why you feel so much, why you have this almost compulsive need to help, to comfort, to heal. Carl Jung said that some souls come to this world with specific missions, and one of the most sacred is the mission to heal. Not just bodies, but souls. Not just wounds, but generational trauma. Not just people, but entire energetic fields. Those born to heal carry marks, unmistakable signs that manifest from childhood. But this gift comes with a price. You absorb, you feel, you carry, and often you lose yourself in the process. Because no one taught you that healing others without protecting yourself can completely drain you. That's why, in this video, I'll reveal the 10 unmistakable signs that you were born to heal. And more. How to recognize and honor this gift without destroying yourself in the process. Because healing is sacred, but sacrificing yourself is not. If this video found you, it wasn't by chance. Your soul already knows. Now it's time for your mind to understand. The first sign that you were born to heal is that you feel others' pain as if it were literally your own. We're not talking about ordinary empathy here. It's not just putting yourself in someone else's shoes or understanding how the person feels. It's literal and instantaneous absorption. It's feeling in your own body, in your own soul, as if others' pain has always been yours. You walk into a hospital and feel a crushing weight in your chest that wasn't there 5 minutes before. You talk to someone going through a difficult breakup and leave the conversation exhausted, as if you'd been crying for hours. You stand next to an anxious person in any line and your heart races for no apparent reason. Your hands start sweating. Your breathing quickens. This isn't oversensitivity. It's not being high maintenance or dramatic. It's energetic perception functioning at full throttle. Those born to heal have nervous systems that are naturally more open, more receptive, more porous. It's as if you were born without some of the natural barriers that protect most people from absorbing the world's pain. You don't just see suffering, you feel it. Literally. In your body, in your soul, as if it has always been yours. Neuroscience has already proven that highly empathic people have hyperactivated mirror neurons. They literally mirror another person's emotional and physical state in real time. But for those with healing gifts, this goes far beyond science. It's a phenomenon that touches the spiritual, the energetic, the transcendent. Carl Jung explained this through the concept of the collective unconscious, an invisible energetic field where all human experiences are eternally connected. And some people are born with more direct access to this field. They feel not only each person's individual pain, but the collective pain of all humanity. It's like being tuned into a cosmic radio that broadcasts global suffering 24/7. It's heavy. It's overwhelming. It's almost unbearable sometimes. But it's also an unmistakable sign. You came to transform this pain, to transmute it from something destructive into something healing, to be an emotional alchemist who turns lead into gold. The problem is that most people with this gift never learned to protect themselves energetically, never discovered that techniques exist to create healthy psychic boundaries, and they end up completely lost in others' pain. They become physically and mentally ill. They exhaust themselves emotionally. They develop anxiety, depression, panic disorders. They give up the gift because the weight seems unbearable. But when you understand that this gift can be channeled, directed, protected, and used consciously, everything changes. You stop being a victim of your own sensitivity and become its master. You stop being a sponge for pain and become a transformer of energy. The second sign that you were born to heal is that animals, children, and plants respond differently to your presence. It's not just affection. It's not simply being good with animals or having a way with kids. It's pure energetic recognition. It's as if beings who haven't yet been contaminated by social masks and mental conditioning instinctively recognize your healing signature. Animals calm down in your presence almost magically. A dog that was barking uncontrollably stops making noise when you approach. Cats, who are normally wary of strangers, come to you like old friends. Birds land on your shoulder. Horses allow themselves to be touched without resistance. Even wild animals seem less aggressive in your presence. Children stop crying when you hold them. Babies who were inconsolable instantly calm against your chest. Hyperactive children quiet down when you're around. They seek you out in a crowd, as if they instinctively know you're a safe harbor amid chaos. And plants. Plants respond in ways that border on the impossible. Wilted flowers come back to life when you care for them. Gardens bloom more vigorously under your care. Even plants that were nearly dead recover miraculously when they come under your responsibility. This happens because pure beings, not contaminated by trauma, fears, and social conditioning, instinctively recognize healing energetic fields. They don't need rational minds to evaluate, they simply feel. Biologist Rupert Sheldrake, in his revolutionary studies on morphogenetic fields, demonstrated that there's nonverbal communication between living beings that completely transcends the 5 physical senses. It's an energetic, vibrational language that operates on subtle frequencies. And people with healing gifts emit specific frequencies that are instinctively picked up by other beings. Jung spoke about the language of symbols, communication that happens at the archetypal level, far below rational consciousness. It's the language of the collective unconscious. And those born to heal speak this ancestral language fluently. They transmit, without words, safety, peace, healing, protection. That's why you've always been the person others sought when they were broken. Even in childhood, you were the friend who comforted when someone cried. The classmate who knew exactly what to say when someone was suffering. The person who made others feel better just by being near. This recognition by pure beings is one of the most reliable signs that you carry genuine healing energy. They don't lie. They don't pretend. They have no ulterior motives. They simply feel and respond to your deepest essence. The third sign that you were born to heal is that you have a different relationship with pain and suffering. While most people flee from pain as if it were contagious, you move closer. Not because you take pleasure in suffering. Not because you're masochistic or morbid, but because you understand, intuitively, that unconfronted pain becomes disease, that hidden wounds rot from within, that healing requires courage to look directly at what others prefer to sweep under the rug. You've always been the person who wasn't afraid to visit terminally ill patients in hospitals, to stay beside those who were dying when everyone else walked away, to embrace those who were broken when everyone pretended not to see. Where others see horror, you see the sacred. Where others see the end, you see transformation. This is an unmistakable sign of an authentic healer soul. Because true healing isn't about eliminating pain, it's about transforming it. It's about helping people walk through the valley of the shadow, not pretending it doesn't exist. And only those who aren't afraid of darkness can be true light for others. Carl Jung taught that true healing happens when we integrate our shadow, what we reject, fear, hide in the depths of the unconscious. And those born to heal have this innate ability to dive into the shadow, their own and others, without getting lost in the darkness. It's like having an internal lantern that never goes out. You've probably lived intense experiences of profound losses that marked you forever. Traumas that completely broke you, not as divine punishment or bad luck in life, but as sacred initiation. Each of your wounds is a door to understanding another's wound. Each scar, a detailed map to teach others how to heal. Psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who revolutionized medical understanding of grief, said that some beings come to the world specifically to accompany others through existence's most difficult transitions. And these beings are tested, prepared, forged through their own journeys through hell. If you've lived more pain than seemed humanly fair, if you've faced losses that completely transformed you and didn't back down, you were being prepared for something greater than yourself, to be a bridge between worlds. The fourth sign is that your hands have literal healing power. This isn't imagination or placebo effect. It's pure science applied through an ancestral gift. You've probably noticed throughout your life, when you touch someone in pain, the pain significantly decreases. When you hug someone in emotional crisis, the person calms down almost inexplicably. When you place your hands on a wound, it seems to heal faster than normal. When you massage someone, it's not just relaxation, it's energetic transformation. This has solid scientific explanation. Your hands emit differentiated bioelectromagnetic fields. Studies from the HeartMath Institute, a world leader in heart coherence research, show that people with developed healing capacities emit heart frequencies that automatically synchronize and harmonize the nervous system of those nearby. Dr. Valerie Hunt from UCLA spent decades measuring human energetic fields with high-precision scientific equipment. She discovered that natural healers produce electrical frequencies far above normal average, some reaching 200,000 cycles per second, while most people produce only 250 cycles per second. While science offers valuable explanations, the essence of this gift transcends the purely physical, diving into the realm of pure energy and purpose. You were born with blessed hands, with fingers that carry life, with palms that transmit instant peace. And you've probably used this power thousands of times without consciously realizing it. Every time you consoled someone with a touch and the person immediately stopped crying. Every time your hand on someone's shoulder made more difference than hours of conversation. Every time one of your hugs healed more deeply than years of therapy. Carl Jung said that some people are born with direct access to life force, what he called libido in its most sacred and universal sense. And this force flows primarily through the hands. Not coincidentally, all the world's healing traditions, from Japanese Reiki to Native American shamanism, from Christian blessing to Messianic Jorei, use hands as the primary channel. Because hands are natural antennas. They are energetic portals. They are instruments for transmitting universal life force. If you have this gift, your hands are extremely sensitive. They heat up when near pain or illness. They tingle when picking up dense or negative energy. They literally vibrate when transmitting healing. Sometimes they even hurt when absorbing energetic toxins from others. And you probably always knew you had something special in your hands. You just didn't trust what you knew. You just didn't value what was obvious. The fifth sign that you were born to heal is that you see beyond the symptom. You perceive the emotional root cause. While others treat only what appears on the surface, you automatically feel what's hidden in the depths. It's like having emotional X-ray vision working around the clock. A person comes complaining of chronic headaches, but you intuitively perceive its resentment held for years poisoning the system. Someone suffers from persistent insomnia, but you sense it's actually unresolved guilt keeping the person awake. A child is constantly sick, but you pick up that it's the toxic family environment contaminating their health. This isn't a gift of fortune-telling. It's not paranormal clairvoyance. It's systemic perception functioning at high frequency. Those born to heal intuitively understand that symptoms are coded messages, that illnesses are energetic imbalances manifesting in the physical, that the body speaks loud and clear when the soul can't express itself through words. Traditional Chinese medicine, with 5,000 years of accumulated experience, teaches exactly this, that every physical illness has energetic, emotional, spiritual origins. And those with healing gifts perceive these connections naturally, without needing to study for decades. You've always been the person who asked the right questions, who went beyond the obvious, who asked not just what hurts, but since when has it hurt? And what was happening in your life when this started? And what emotions were you feeling at that time? Carl Jung revolutionized psychology precisely by understanding that psychological and physical symptoms are symbols, that the unconscious uses the body to communicate what the conscious mind doesn't want or can't see. And people with healing gifts have natural access to this deep symbolic language. You've probably already felt diagnoses before doctors confirmed them. You've already known intuitively that someone was developing an illness before the person sought medical help. You've already perceived toxic family patterns repeating through generations, causing the same health problems. This ability to see beyond the superficial is one of the most precise gifts of a healer's soul. Because true and lasting healing only happens when we treat the root cause, not just the visible effects. The sixth sign that you were born to heal is that you absorb energetic toxins and need to cleanse constantly. This is a matter of energetic survival. You leave a place full of people and feel literally dirty inside. Not in the physical body, but in the soul. You need to bathe not just the body, but the energetic field. Sea salt, herbal baths, incense, crystals, cleansing rituals. All of this makes deep sense to you because you literally feel when you're loaded with energy that isn't yours. This happens because natural healers function like giant energetic sponges. They automatically absorb emotional and spiritual toxins from the environment and people. It's a natural mechanism of the gift, but it needs to be consciously managed. Quantum physics has already proven that everything in the universe is energy vibrating at different frequencies. And dense energies, like anger, fear, resentment, envy, depression, Stick to more sensitive energetic fields, like honey sticks, to a magnet. You've probably always had intuitive cleansing rituals. Long, extended baths, walks in nature, mandatory moments of silence and solitude. Not because you're antisocial or odd, but because you need to discharge energetically. Carl Jung spoke about the importance of psychic hygiene, regularly cleaning the unconscious of foreign contaminations. And those born to heal need this daily, like those who need to brush their teeth. If you never learned to protect yourself energetically, you've probably already gone through periods of extreme exhaustion without apparent cause, depression that came from nowhere, inexplicable anxiety, mysterious illnesses that appeared and disappeared. This happens because you're processing not just your own issues, but everyone's who crosses your path. The good news is that once you understand how it works, you can learn to protect yourself without losing the gift. You can heal without draining yourself. You can serve without sacrificing yourself. The seventh sign that you were born to heal is that people tell you secrets they've never told anyone. It's not just because you're a good listener. It's not just because you show genuine interest. It's because you're a safe emotional continent, a human vault where people can deposit their most intimate truths without fear of judgment. You've lived this hundreds of times. Someone you've just met tells you the most secret story of their life. People open up to you in ways they don't even open up to close family members. Secrets kept for decades pour out in your presence as if you were a walking confessional. This happens because natural healers emit a specific frequency. Absolute, unconditional acceptance. You don't judge. Don't criticize. Don't reject. Don't give unsolicited advice. And people feel this before you even open your mouth. It's an energetic field you carry automatically. A soul signature that says, "Here is safe." And people's unconscious responds to this instantly, without rational filter. Carl Jung called this the transcendent function, the ability to sustain opposing polarities without breaking. You can hear horrors without being shocked, embrace shadows without being contaminated, welcome pain without destroying yourself, hold truths that would break other people. This is a fundamental characteristic of those born to heal, the ability to be a psychic womb where people can deposit their pain and emerge lighter, to become a sacred space of transformation. You've probably already been the best friend of people you didn't even know well, the friendly shoulder of distant work colleagues, the confidant of family members who barely spoke to you, because your energy naturally invites authentic vulnerability. The challenge is learning not to carry all of this as if it were yours, to listen without absorbing, to receive without keeping, because being a safe continent for others doesn't mean becoming a warehouse for others' traumas. The eighth sign that you were born to heal is that you have prophetic dreams about other people's health. These aren't random nightmares created by your anxious imagination. They're genuine warnings from the spiritual field. You dream that someone is developing a serious illness, and weeks later, the person discovers exactly the problem you saw in the dream. You have nightmares about accidents that later happen exactly the same way. You wake up with the urgent feeling that you need to call someone and discover the person was indeed going through an emergency. This is extrasensory perception, applied specifically to the area of health and healing. Your unconscious is connected to the morphogenetic field of collective health, and you receive information before it manifests physically. Parapsychology has already documented thousands of such cases around the world. People who dreamed correct diagnoses, who sensed medical emergencies, who saw health problems before the patients themselves or doctors. Carl Jung extensively studied the prophetic nature of dreams. For him, the unconscious isn't limited by linear time like the conscious mind. It can access information from the near future, especially when related to the well-being of emotionally close people. If you regularly have this type of dream, it's because your soul is literally watching over the health of those you love. It's a spiritual early warning system, a psychic radar that works while your conscious mind sleeps. The important thing is learning to distinguish between genuine prophetic dreams and projected personal anxieties. True dreams come with specific clarity, a sense of real urgency, a sharpness that doesn't resemble ordinary dreams. And when this happens, it's your spiritual responsibility to act. Call the person, visit, suggest medical exams, warn about precautions, because these dreams don't come to scare you. They come to give you the chance to positively interfere in someone's destiny. The ninth sign that you were born to heal is that you sense when environments need energetic cleansing. You enter a house and immediately feel something is heavy, dense, loaded. A work environment drains you before you even start activities. Certain places give you instant chills, others calm you deeply for no apparent reason. This happens because you're an ultra-sensitive walking energetic sensor. Your perception automatically picks up fields of stagnant energy, accumulated emotional charges, residues of unprocessed traumas that remain impregnated in environments. Quantum physics has already proven that environments store energetic information, that places absorb and radiate the energies that were deposited in them over time. And people with healing gifts feel this with the same clarity they feel ambient temperature. You've probably always been the person who intuitively reorganized spaces, who opened windows to refresh the air energetically, who lit candles, burned incense, moved furniture around, all to improve the feeling of the environment. Carl Jung understood that physical spaces are extensions of the collective psyche, that traumatized places need healing as much as traumatized people, and those born to heal feel this need viscerally. If you're sensitive to environments, you've probably already energetically cleansed places without even consciously knowing you were doing it. Your mere presence in a loaded place can completely transform the atmosphere. Your personal energy can transmute dense fields into lightness. This is one of the most underestimated gifts of natural healers. The ability to heal not just people, but entire places. To transmute the energy of environments. To leave spaces lighter, more harmonious, more healing for everyone who will pass through them. And the final sign that you were born to heal is that you can't pretend not to see suffering. While others can walk past someone experiencing homelessness and continue their lives normally, you stop. While others ignore an injured animal on the street, you rescue it. While others pretend not to notice when someone is in deep depression, you ask if everything's okay and offer help. It's not that you want to be a hero. It's not that you seek recognition. It's that you literally can't be anything else. This compulsion to heal isn't a conscious choice. It's the nature of the soul. It's like asking the sun not to shine, or the river not to flow to the sea. You were born for this. And however heavy, painful, exhausting it sometimes is, you can't stop. Carl Jung said that some people are born with what he called the wounded healer syndrome, an extreme sensitivity to suffering that forces them to develop healing capacities to survive in a world full of pain. This explains why you've always been more sensitive than others, why you cried more easily as a child, why you were hurt more deeply by injustices, why you felt the world's pain like personal stab wounds. You weren't born with thick skin. You were born with a completely open heart. And it's exactly this radical openness that allows you to truly heal. Because only those who feel deeply can touch deeply. Only those who intimately know pain can authentically alleviate it. Only those who've been through complete breaking can teach others to rebuild. The challenge is learning to manage this sacred compulsion. To consciously choose where to invest your precious healing energy. To understand that you can't save everyone, but you can make a transformative difference in some people's lives. And that's already enough. That's already sacred. If you recognized yourself in most of these signs, have no doubt, you were born to heal. This isn't cheap spiritual fantasy. It's scientific and mystical reality at the same time. It's a gift documented by neuroscience, validated by transpersonal psychology, and recognized by all ancestral traditions of the world. But with great power comes great responsibility. And the first responsibility of those born to heal is learning to heal themselves completely first. Because you can't give what you don't have. You can't heal others if you're broken inside. You can't transmit peace if you're at war with yourself. But how do you honor your gift without destroying yourself? First, establish conscious energetic barriers. Before entering any loaded environment, visualize a golden light bubble around you. Breathe deeply 3 times and mentally declare, I choose to absorb only what strengthens me and reject what drains me. This isn't superstition. It's neuro-linguistic programming applied to psychic protection. Create daily energetic cleansing rituals. Sea salt baths aren't mysticism. They're literal release of accumulated tensions. Running water removes electrical charges from the body. Salt neutralizes dense energetic fields. Make this a non-negotiable practice. It's also essential to differentiate your emotions from others' emotions. Every time you feel something intense, stop and ask, when did this start? Who was I with? In what place? If the emotion has no clear origin in your experience, return it energetically. Say out loud, this isn't mine. It returns to whom it belongs, transformed into light. Also have mandatory moments of solitude. Your energy needs to reorganize away from external influences. It's not antisocial. It's spiritual maintenance, like a smartphone that needs to recharge to function. And finally, use your gift intentionally, not automatically. Consciously choose when and with whom you'll use your healing energy. You're not obligated to heal everyone who crosses your path. Establish sacred boundaries. Now that you understand your sensitivity was never a defect but a gift, what will your next move be? Will you continue sacrificing yourself until you're exhausted? Or will you learn to use this force with wisdom? Carl Jung taught that true healing always begins with the healer. That wounded doctors heal better because they understand pain from personal experience. That therapists who've been through deep therapy are infinitely more effective. That healers who've healed themselves can truly heal. Your gift of healing isn't a heavy burden, it's a sacred calling. It's not a cross to bear, it's a blessing to share. But it needs to be consciously developed, energetically protected, intentionally directed. You came to this world at a specific time because your healing energy is needed now. Because there are people waiting specifically for you. Because there are wounds only you can touch. Because your presence can make the difference between someone giving up completely or continuing to fight. The next step is yours. Don't diminish your gift to fit into a world that's afraid of real depth. Don't hide your light so as not to disturb those who prefer to live in superficial darkness. Don't become small so others feel big. But also don't destroy yourself trying to save those who don't want to be saved. Don't empty yourself trying to fill voids that aren't yours to fill. The world desperately needs authentic healers. It always has. But today, more than ever, we need people who know how to transmute pain into wisdom, wounds into strength, trauma into transformation. You're one of those rare people. And this isn't cosmic accident. It's divine purpose. Honor your sacred gift. Develop your healing capacities. Protect your precious energy. And always remember, healing is the most sacred work that exists in this world. And you were specially chosen for it. But now the question remains, will you accept this sacred responsibility and learn to use it with wisdom? Or will you continue losing yourself in others' pain? The choice and the power have always been yours. If this content resonated deeply with you, if you recognized yourself in these sacred signs, leave a comment telling which sign touched you most and what your first step will be to honor this gift without destroying yourself. And if you want to continue developing your healing gifts in a protected and conscious way, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications, because we'll explore much more about this sacred universe of spiritual healing. Your healer's soul isn't here by accident, and now you know this with absolute certainty, and more importantly, now you know how to protect it.